Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look. Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do their thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
What's up, everybody? This is Felicia, a.k.a. La Sicaria, a.k.a. The Vast Vicious Building from Lucha Underground, and you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew alongside Derek.
You.
And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today we're sitting with Felicia Rose. How's it going?
I'm really good. How are you guys?
We're doing great,
Yeah,
man. This is good.
okay.
It's a Friday. We're spending a Friday with
Actually,
Felicia Rose.
It's more Wednesday, right?
Well, yeah, you know, we're recording this on a Friday. It'll be out on a Wednesday, but we're spending a Friday night with Felicia. This is a good Friday night.
Yeah, are you guys as drunk as I am?
No,
No.
not yet. You started early.
So
I
Felicia,
did. Well, I have to help my friend move, so, I figured I'd get drunk early, and then it'd be funner to help them move later.
I think that's just gonna make it take longer.
No, it's fine. I got it.
they don't have a deadline, right?
That's funny.
So Felicia, you know, you're pretty well known now, but let's talk about a little bit of your backstory. How did you become a wrestling fan? What was the first thing you saw that made you go, wow, this is something I like?
Well, when I was a little girl, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling, but I would sneak over to my friend's house who was allowed to watch it. So I didn't get to watch it regularly, but when I did, I fell in love with China and Triple H and that storyline at the time. But then fast forward through my teens and early 20s, and I kind of just fell out of caring about stuff. I was just busy with school and whatnot. And then I had a partner at one point that was super obsessed with it, on, that true wrestling fan level where, they really loved the indies and WWE and made me watch everything. And I just saw an NXT match one day, 5 years ago or so, and it was just I fell in love with it all over again, kind of like how I felt when I was a kid. And it's just been ridiculous ever since.
Nice.
Might be 6 years now. I don't know. I have a bad timetable in my head, but whatever.
Nice. So if you said you fell in love, you were watching a NXT match. So, NXT compared with, the regular Raw and SmackDown, you get a better quality of wrestling. So would you say that you really like the art of wrestling and you look forward to the technical aspect of it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, the first thing that caught my eye is, how the wrestlers look. Sure, fair enough, I'll admit that, but that's not, I didn't continue to watch it for that. If I wanted to watch just, hockey being hot, I could watch so many different things, you know what I mean? Nobody's where do I find the hot guys? Let's go watch fake fighting, you know what I mean? That's not, there's other dating pools and, worshiping pools, if you will, but it was just more holy shit, what the hell is that move, and how the hell did they do that, and these storylines are sick, and I really have always been, I was always a theater nerd and an actress since I was a little kid, so I appreciated when people really pulled off, a heel gimmick or a face gimmick where I was just holy shit, I got caught up, I believed it,
Mm-hmm.
So just the whole production value and everything all together, it was just, I don't know, it's entertaining, I really liked it, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's talk about that infamous
So
night.
yeah, I mean, abs are cool, but it's not like that. But who cares if it is? I want to stand by the fact that, who cares if that's what I watched it for? You know what I mean? Who cares? We're watching it for whatever reason. We should all just appreciate it. So
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
Yeah, let's talk about that infamous night. I mean, you got kicked out of Monday Night Raw. There was an infamous sign that you were holding. How'd you get through that with that sign, through the security?
why do we have to talk about that night? Listen, the first time I held up that sign, I didn't get kicked out, so we'll talk about that one first. No, I mean, I get it. I got it. I'm never going to tell anybody how I get my naughty signs to security. That's the secret, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
But I definitely don't make it there, so, whoever sticks, like, I mean, like, at one point, yeah, like, the first sign I held was like Sharpie. I made it at home, but it was like Sharpie, and it looked like shit on cardboard. But, like, my follow-up signs were, like, painted with paint. So, like, obviously I don't make it at the arena, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, that first one is like the most infamous one. What made you, like, I don't know, let's say pick Finn Balor out of everybody? Why did you like Finn the most?
I don't know. I really liked the different characters he did in the indies, and I watched more of his work, honestly. Like, I was still so new to wrestling in general, and I was just like, he was what was, like, you know, caught my eye at the time, and I really liked the demon shit, and it was a joke. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to make a sign, and I didn't even have wrestling friends that were, like, or wrestling fan friends, I should say. I had, like, 3 friends. I went with them to the show. I had tickets way super up high. This is, like, 3 years ago, I mean. And then, like, I snuck down with my sign and got, like, for 2 seconds, I held it up and somebody snapped a photo. And it wasn't even because I was, like, on camera. I wasn't on camera. It was just because somebody snapped a picture and I, like, went on Botchamania or whatever. So, like, you know, I didn't try to, you know, get over or whatever. It just happened, and then I went with it, I guess.
Nice. So you and Finn are friends now, right? You guys kind of form, like, a relationship out of that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. That's it. What?
We're pals. I mean, like, whatever. People are so obnoxious and speculate all sorts of things. But yes, we've become friends because of the sign.
That's cool. Yeah, that's definitely cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I held up the sign again this year, and then that's when I got kicked out. And that's when, like, you know, now that's what, like, when you Google Felicia Rose, like, the next thing that comes up is, like, gets kicked out of Raw. So.
Yeah.
When you get kicked out of Raw, is it like Seinfeld where they put you in, like, the stadium jail?
No, like, it was weird. I got, like, I got kicked out of SummerSlam, soft kicked out because of the sign, and, meaning, like, they just didn't follow me out. Like, I could have just went back in and sat down. Like, they didn't take my ticket or anything. The second night, they, like, the person that caused the ruckus, that caused the commotion, which I didn't have a sign, I didn't have a shirt, nothing. It was just me standing there with my arms up like the emoji, like, what? And, because the person that I was sitting next to caused, like, a huge ruckus, they got, like, you know, taken away by security, but security was like, you're out too, and I was like, who, me?
Like,
and then I just kind of walked away slowly, but people were chanting shit at me at that point, so I was like, well, now I don't feel safe any longer. I'm alone in a crowd of people screaming something at me. Whether some people were, like, cheering and some people were yelling at me. I was like, I don't even know what just happened. Like, what the hell? And I just, like, walked out because I felt uncomfortable. So
now,
I don't know what happens. I think you get, like, thrown out on the street if you get real kicked out. I don't think you're in jail.
really kicked out. Now, let's talk about let's say like the sexualization of wrestling, basically, because, you know, basically, let's say, as far as wrestling, men have been sexualizing women in wrestling for years. So, you know, now Miss Felicia Rose comes along, and now, you know, it's kind of like the opposite. Now there's a woman that's sexualizing men. And do you think there's a double standard now that it's like, oh, wow, there's a woman that's doing what men have been doing for years?
Well, listen, that's the point, is I'm trying to say, like, you know, men, you're not allowed to do that anymore. It's a different time in the world, and the problem is it can't be a double standard, because men will never feel as powerless under a woman as a woman feels under a man. Gotcha. So we can't take away their power by holding a sign. You know what I mean? Yeah. We can take away the power of a woman by a man holding a sign. It's a completely different thing. There is a completely different dynamic when you look at it, and the fact of the matter is, me doing it, I'm not saying, yes, let's all sexualize everybody and all make signs for everybody. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to say is, it's time for guys to stop fucking looking at the woman like that. Let me take some of that attention away from the women, and, you know, let's sexualize the men and show them what it feels like a little bit. And last time I checked, nobody has ever complained about me sexualizing the men. Like, the men have never been like, oh, I feel degraded. Because once again, it's a different power dynamic, and you can't say that it's not.
Yeah,
a woman sexualizing a man is not the same as a man sexualizing a woman. You know, men always get the high fives. They're always getting kudos because, oh, yeah, like, you know, you took a picture of Alexa Bliss's butt and you posted it online. But if I do it with dude, I'm a ring rat. Yeah. No, I'm just a chick that likes a butt. What the fuck? You know what I mean? It's just completely different, and it's not the same dynamic. So you can't compare apples to apples in that.
No, I hear you. We all like butts. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, but because of the fact of the matter is that like it's time for the woman to be appreciated for the sport of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's time for the men to only be sexualized, but it's also time for, if a woman wants to bring a sign that says Sheamus's daddy and, you know, to the show, then she should.
Yeah.
And she did. There was a girl in like New York that said that, and I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like it's not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? Whereas the men, it's time for you to shut the fuck up about the woman.
You know, one thing I find really interesting about you is lately you've been working with Monsta Mack and Magic. How's it been working with them?
It's been super fun. So we've only worked 2 shows, but the last show that we worked was really fun. I got to cut a fun promo and then, you know, get a little, I don't know, I really like working with them because obviously they're, you know, they're veterans to the game and they have a lot of insight and they actually are like open to hearing my ideas. And the coolest part is they always give me the ability to, like, when it's time for, you know, like I haven't cut like a super long promo with them yet, but like when it's time for me to cut a promo, they just kind of, we agree on what the gist is, and then they let me write or like say whatever, and they trust that I'm going to do it justice. And I kind of dig the fact that they like have that faith in me, which is kind of cool because I am so green and I am, you know, just starting out. So the fact that they like believe in me and they're like, yeah, we know you're going to say something, but I like to say something that they don't know what I'm going to say. That way, it's like an actual organic response, like when I'm on the mic, and it's so fun to watch them be like, you know, pop for actually what I'm saying. So it's cool.
Nice. Yeah. Now Monsta Mack, he's always one to give great advice. He's always been helpful to us and since day one. Can you think of any great advice that Monsta Mack has given to you?
He's like my father. Like, first of all, I want to put to rest any of the rumors. He's, you know, literally just my mentor. We are really good friends. We've been friends for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked together on my podcast. There is absolutely no relationship between us. So anybody out there who just assumes because I'm working with him, I'm sleeping with him, shut the fuck up and like understand that professionalism is professionalism. Yeah. But honestly, he's like a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and he's like a prophet. Like it's so fun to see him like in the back, like talking to all like the youngsters, and like it's like Uncle Mac like story hour. It's really cute, but like. I mean, I sometimes call him like once a week and tell him and like ask him like why I'm still doing what I'm doing because I doubt myself, and I read some hater online saying, you know, I'm not trained enough or blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, he always talks me down and just explains to me like, no, you can do this. You were, you know, born to have a microphone in your hand. And the best advice he's given me is like, each show is just another learning experience. You learn, you made one little mistake, the next show you're not going to make that mistake, you know, things like that. And just like to just believe in myself and like own it and not worry about the little things. It's the little things that like people perseverate on that like still alive. You know what I mean? You have to like just learn and keep going. And I don't know, he's just like a great motivator in general. So
yeah, that's for sure.
It's awesome to have him by my side. I couldn't be like any more appreciative. It's so great. So
yeah, you know, you even got him to open up on your episode of the Screw. You know,
that was super fun.
Yeah, so when you have a conversation like that and you're really talking to him, you know, does that really just amp up the trust that maybe, you know, he does have your back? Because he's been super awesome to us and he's a fantastic guy. I mean, does that really help grow the friendship that you guys have?
Yeah, I think like once we actually got to have like a moment to work together in just some capacity, which obviously we were working together on that. And like, yeah, I think just like trusting each other, we had a really good rapport on that. And like, we had been friends for a while before, but we hadn't spent enough time like just kind of shooting the breeze, if you will. And that's sort of what we did. And it definitely like built our friendship even more. And like, it made me realize we do have that rapport that we could like potentially work together. So like, when I was looking for like someone to help train me and get me to where I need to be, I was like, Steve, and he was like, yes. And I'm like, I need you, and I'm so thankful he agreed to it. He couldn't have been like a better person, so it's awesome.
Yeah, he really is a fantastic human being for sure.
Yeah.
We could all test
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so...
I mean, he'd give you his shirt off your back and then drive to frickin' Florida if you needed it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely true. So when you decided, you know, that you were going to go from being a fan of wrestling to actually, you know, trying to be a part of it, what was like your first step to like getting in, and like what was the first thing you did to try to get in the business?
Well, I didn't actually decide or try to.
Okay.
So a couple years, so it's literally probably 6 months after I went viral, people were already starting to ask me, like, whether it was workers or promoters, and some people maybe just being sketchy, I don't know, like, hey, come ballet here, come do this, and I was just like, no, I'm all set, like, I'm just a fan, I'm like, I don't belong doing that, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until, like, a couple years later when I just started to kind of have just more, like, a closer connection with wrestling in general, and I was dating a wrestler, and I was at a show, and the promoter, it was a brand new promotion, the promoter was like, hey, do you want to work the next show as his manager? And he didn't even ask me. It was a promoter, you know, like, I don't know if he ever wanted me to do it to begin with. And I was like, sure. And that's how it started. So from that, I also helped my friend Chris up in Syracuse start a new promotion. Like, I helped him with, like, you know, just doing, like, the paperwork stuff and trying to get sponsors and crap like that, and just giving him some ideas. And eventually, when it came time to book the show, he was like, hey, do you want to, like, try out managing? I know you can, like, speak decently when you're not drunk and high as you are right now. And I'm like, I can't even speak. I'm trying to say that I know how to speak, but I can't right now. But anyway, so he asked that, and I was like, sure, if you believe in me enough, why not? And it just so happened those two shows were, like, back to back on the same weekend, and it just kind of evolved from there, and I fell in love with it accidentally. So I didn't ask for this. So anybody that talks shit that's like, that girl doesn't belong, it's like, well, they're asking me to be there. I'm not even asking promotions to book me. I'm literally just, promotions are coming to me. So, like, who am I to say no? I'm having a good time, and I'm putting asses in seats.
Yeah, no, I think you're such a like a polarizing figure that, you know, you're easy to want to actually see be a part of it. And then, I mean, and it's so funny, like, you know, we're talking about, you know, men, how they, you know, sexualize women. You know, a big part of it is that, like, you're a very beautiful person. So, you know, of course, guys want you to be a part of the event as well. I think that plays into it too. Do you kind of get that feeling as well?
Well, thank you for saying I'm beautiful. That's nice. I think it's because, like, my gimmick, quote unquote, it's not my gimmick, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
That I'm a sexual person. But,
Yeah.
I also like wrestling, and I've kind of sort of in a way combined the two. I I interview wrestlers about sex. I bring sexual signs to shows. Not really anymore, but I did at one point.
Yeah.
And it's all tongue in cheek, and it's a way to just be like, hey, like, let's not pretend at the, I mean, yes, it's athletic, and I appreciate every single aspect of it, and I respect it, but it's also a sexual thing, and it's not something that we have to, like, shy away from. Joey Ryan doesn't. No one shits on him. Well, people do, but I'm just saying, like, the ratio of who gets shit on more, who knows, it's probably me. And the fact of the matter is that, like, because I am so polarizing, like, it gives you a place. The problem is people don't want me in the audience because I'm taking attention away from the ring.
True.
But now you don't want me in the ring too. Let me get in the ring and come boo me if you fucking hate me, and come cheer me if you like me. I'm giving you a literal place to come talk shit to my face. I'm normally booked as a heel. Like, literally, it's a 100% green light to come throw something at, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, literally come boo me in a place in real life, and, like, instead you're just mad and talking shit online and, like, whatever. You know, it's like, I feel like I gave people an opportunity to, you know, do what they've been wanting to, which is hate on me. But, you know, either way, I'm getting people to show up to shows, so
Yeah, for sure.
they can talk all they want, but until I stop getting booked, I mean, joke's on them.
You recently worked with Val Venis. How was it working with him?
It was awesome. He's a sweetheart. He's a stoner like me, which was great. And we got to talk about weed. He's, like, super open about it, which is cool. And then, like, he was super cool with our ideas. Like, it was cool. But there was also a spot in it where I like, slid in on my knees. And, like, as you say, like, he ladies. And he, like, turned around. I did, like, the whole, like, Jenna Jameson on her knees, like, coming up. And, like, he had no idea I was going to do it, and he was, like, surprised. But it was just, like, super fun, and, like, I don't know, I got to get on my knees for Val Venis. I don't know. I had a really good time during the match. It was cool, and he was just, like, super awesome, and, like, I was like, hey, I'm very new to this, and he was like, oh, you did a great job, blah, blah, blah. And I got to cut a promo on my pussy right before he came out, and, like, It was cool. I had a good time.
Nice.
Of course, I don't have any footage of it because it was just the best promo ever. But it's cool. Maybe next time.
Oh man, that's funny. Have you ever attended any of his marijuana seminars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's so funny.
all right, we can just skip over it. Let's don't be brought.
Oh my goodness.
I heard the tone of your voice.
No, definitely. I'm not saying anything. No, we were in Atlantic City, and he had a marijuana seminar about like education of.
Oh, so you actually went?
No, I didn't go, but we were a part of the.
You poked your head in.
Yeah, we were a part of the actual event, so we didn't have time to go in. But he actually has a seminar where he educates people on marijuana, the uses.
I know. I was wondering if you had gone. Honestly, I have no idea. I heard it was funny. But, I mean, he's really. I don't know. He taught me a lot in like the 20 minutes I talked to him. So whatever.
Yeah, see, you know something I don't know. That's why I was like, wait, what happened?
So also, you got to co-host your own segment with Jay George. What kind of segment was that at COD? And what were you?
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really a segment. We kind of just cut it for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're like a journalist, right?
That was cool, though. I mean, anytime, honestly, I worked with Jay George with Val Venis. Anytime I work with him, we have a good rapport. So, I don't mind like working with him anytime. We're obviously like exes, so it's like it makes sense to put us together. So people still book us together, but whatever.
Yeah. How do you like? You guys are. I'm assuming you guys have to be friends. Like, how do you? For people who can't be adults and be friends with their exes, like how does that feel? How do you guys get past and work together like that?
Well, there was like a little while where I didn't want to work at all with it, but I still like sucked it up, and I was like, just because it was still like so fresh, I was like, yeah, that sucks. But like, no, we ended up like pulling it off and doing actually probably our best shows were post breakup. Honestly, I don't know. You just have to be professional and realize that like things will work, and just put it on. It's like I don't know. It should feel natural if you've worked with somebody on that level before. But also, like, we're both professional. Like, honestly, like, once I stepped into that locker room, like, people always say, they're like, are you in a bad mood? Or, like, are you upset right now? And I'm just like, oh, no, I'm just, like, going over in my head what I have to do. Like, I just get in the zone. So, like, I just think we're both super professional, and we take that shit seriously. Even when we're being goofy and, like, our gimmick is to talk about, like, condoms, like, it's still like we take it seriously. Like, we want to make sure that like we do a good job. So I think that's really what it is at the end of the day. We're both really very serious, even though like both of us have kind of goofy gimmicks, if you will.
You came up with your nickname, from a different version from The Rock. He's the people's champ. You're the people's tramp. So right. Like what exactly is supposed to be the meaning of that? When people hear that, what do you want them to like think of Felicia Rose?
Well, I'm like everybody's whore. If you have a question about sex, if you need to ask me about vibrators, if you want to use me as like a dirty, like storyline character for something, if you want to, buy my nudes or, sext me for money or what the fuck ever, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically like, I am your sexual wrestling goddess. I'm finishing my sentence. I want to be fucking goddess, not advocate. Sorry, I have somebody finishing my sentence.
Oh my goodness.
No, but yeah, like, it's just like I'm everybody's whore, not just anybody's, And what that means is like you can be a whore, you can be the Madonna or the whore or the virgin or the whatever, and it doesn't matter because there's a place for all of us women out there.
Now that you're pursuing wrestling, what are some of the goals now? What's the end game for you?
I don't know. End game? I didn't even fucking have it. Like, I didn't have a beginning game. I don't know. I guess like to continue doing it and getting better and finding that perfect character that I love. Because a lot of times I'm just booked as just be yourself and say some shit. And I'm like, okay, fine. maybe say it a little naughtier, like, this is my regular voice, this is my naughty, whatever. Versus, like, I don't know, maybe I host my own wrestling shows, or I do other stuff on a microphone. I don't know. I really like managing them. It's really fun. I like getting food.
Yeah.
And I like getting wrestlers over if that's what they need.
Are you interested in maybe going to Impact or WWE? Do you think you would fit in there pretty well?
They would never. I mean, I'm a Google nightmare.
If this was like the Attitude Era, you'd be like perfect for WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have a goal of a bigger promotion or anything like that because of the fact that I understand that they don't want me. If something were to open where, like, they were going more toward, like, an After Dark vibe, like, at a bigger place, and they wanted me, of course. Like, I'm open to whatever, but I know that haha, like, that's a good joke. Like, sure, they know about me, and they've giggled at my jokes, but they still are, they have to have their brand, and it has to be PG, otherwise kids can't go, and I totally understand that, and I respect that, and I'm not going to, like, lie to myself and think that, like, I'm TV friendly. I'm not. I don't have a perfect look. I'm, YouTube friendly at best. So, like, let's not lie to ourselves.
No, I hear you.
I mean, that's cool that
like,
you...
I'm 31, you know what I mean? Like, we need to put it in, like, a really low DPI for me to look anywhere decent.
No, I hear you.
That's
why my podcast is now on iTunes, not YouTube.
Not on YouTube? Oh, man. That's hilarious.
That's pretty interesting, and that's awesome to hear that you still want to advance, even though you think that about yourself. But anything could happen. I mean, anyone at any time could be signed. But that's cool that you want to continue this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in love with it. It sucks. I just really like being on a microphone. So whether I find a different way to do that, and I don't want to stop doing the wrestling stuff. But say one day there's no space for me in it, then okay, I still want to do something where my voice is heard, because I just enjoy talking at people, screaming their faces or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty
I'm a fucking asshole, and I like hearing myself talk. So anywhere I can do that is a-okay with me.
Yeah. See, the thing about you that's like, it's like very interesting is that in a country where this is America, where it's supposed to be like be yourself, say what you want. This is the land of the free, and it's like you exemplify that on like a high scale because you're yourself and
and it's time for women to be able to have that chance. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying, like, let me get called the ring rat, but the next girl down the rung doesn't because she just said his butt was cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to pave the way and saying, who gives a shit? If you are whatever, quote unquote, a ring rat, which I hate terms like that, but you know what I mean? Like, if you are a girl just there, who gives a shit? There's groupies everywhere. There's groupies in everything that we do. There's people, and guess what? There's fan fuckers too. Without groupies, there wouldn't, without fan fuckers, there wouldn't be groupies. Without the dudes or whoever fucking the people that are showing up and paying for the show, there wouldn't be the other side of it. So fuck off. Like, you can't hate one if you don't hate the rest. So why don't we just all love each other, fuck each other, realize that we're all adults and having consensual sex, keep it at that, and not worry about other people's goddamn business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking business what you do with your fucking genitals. And also, at the end of the day, I like combining the world of, like, sex work and wrestling. You know what I mean? Yes, I will sell you my nude APEC tent at the wrestling show that I am managing at. Just come see me in the dark corner. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. That's funny. That's so funny.
Fucking whatever. Who says we can't have both? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
and I'm not
definitely.
afraid to say that. Now I see, like, a lot more, like, wrestling fans that are, like, women that are, like, open about selling their own nudes. I'm like, fuck yeah. I have girls coming to me, not girls, women coming to me asking me to sell their nudes for them. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck yeah, let's build a fucking sex wrestling podcast, feminist / everything empire, and I'll be the head of it.
Do it, man. Do it. Do you have anybody that you like you look to, or like that's kind of like a role model for you? Because I can tell you when I first saw you, the first person I thought about was Amber Rose, who does like the slut walk, and she says, like, everybody has sex, and it's not like, why are we like making it like women can't feel the same way men feel about sex and stuff like that?
I feel like I don't even have to look to Amber Rose because that chick just be saying exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh, damn, if I had a big booty and bigger lips, I might have been able to, like, catch the eye of people sooner, because I say exactly what she says pretty much, like, fair enough. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I think I own things differently. I don't know if I can compare myself to anybody else, but who I look up to, I don't know, I look up to fucking everybody. Every woman that has ever said, fuck you, and fuck what you say is society standards, and fuck, like, you know, creating an atmosphere where we feel like as women we can't just be who we are, and that's the whole point at the end of the day. And I just really look up to awesome, you know, fucking everybody. Like, I love every single woman that I come across, even the ones that hate me. I'm like, I know why you hate me, and I understand that it's just like the built-in misogyny that you learned from, you know, your dad or brother or ex-boyfriend or whatever, and it sucks. And I hope that maybe if you take a couple extra minutes to look, maybe in your head you'll be like, oh man, I wish I could be like that. But I'll talk shit out loud. But, like, you know what, I don't care. Even if I just get the wheels turning in girls' heads, like, I just want to, like, pave the way so that people can look up to me the way that I've looked up to, you know, other sluts like Jenna Jameson and Ava Angelina, and just chicks that take blows that are cool with it. And
yeah, no, definitely.
And then, like, the sensational charities and Selena De La Renters and Selenas and all these awesome fucking managers and just really just strong-ass women. Like, I'm just, like, my mind is blanking for who I look up to right now. I'm just thinking about, like, chicks that take blows, but, like, all I had to say about that.
So, Felicia, a quick question. You know, what legends would you like to work with in the future? I mean, you already talked about Val Venis. Anybody you'd like to work with in the future? Any ones that on the bucket list?
I would love to work with Joey Ryan. I mean, I've met him and, you know, whatever, and he's a sweet dude, but, like, I'd actually love to actually work with him.
Oh, nice.
And maybe, like, Sunny Kiss, just because I consider Sunny a friend, but at the same time, I look up to Sunny, and just everything that Sunny does to pave the way for LGBT wrestling, and just being out and proud, but also being sexy as fuck. Like, I would totally respect working with him and doing something at some point.
Yeah, awesome here. Two very talented superstars for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Felicia, can you tell people on social media where they can connect with you if they want to talk to you?
They want to purchase nudes.
Purchase nudes. You guys can find me on Instagram at what's my Instagram? The People's Tramp. My Twitter is Felicia Rose. My dirty Twitter is People's Tramp. My ManyVids account is Felicia Raw. My Snapchat account is Felicia Rose Raw. And my podcast is The Screw. You can find us on iTunes and Podbean and on Instagram at The Screw Podcast.
We appreciate you coming on, Felicia, taking the time out, giving our listeners an insight into who you are, you know, as a person, and we really appreciate the time.
Oh, thanks guys for having me. Thanks for asking me questions about myself. I felt really cool to, like, talk about myself for that long.
And for us, we are Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101, and we'll see you guys very soon.
We are out. You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.